Hello, welcome back to a Recovery Yoga with Lisa. I'm Lisa, and we're going to do figure four and figure four twists today. This is excellent because it's going to bring us off the kind of like putting weight on the bones of the body, and we're going to flip to the back, and we're going to begin on the back. So we're going to need, you actually don't really need anything, but you could just be on your floor, but a yoga mat blocks, bolsters, pillows, blankets, anything like that would be nice. I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera here. And as we come to the back, we're going to start with, I'm going to begin with hugging a block between the thighs. That just helps to bring in more support for the core. It's going to activate the quads and the muscles on the inside of the thighs. And then I'm just going to roll back. And this just really helps to support the back as you lie down. Now I have a blanket under my neck. This is really nice, especially if you are tighter in your upper body. And then heels underneath the knees. And let's go ahead and lift the toes, activate the arches of the feet, and the feet are about hip width-ish apart. Relax your arms, and what I'm first going to bring us through is just some easy windshield wiper twists. So I want you to breathe in and just gently press down to the low base of the spine and pause there. So again, toes are lifted. You can always release them back down, but just let the arches of the feet activate, and then pressing down through the low base of the spine very gently. We're just going to start with some easy windshield wipers. And notice I'm like only going about like a third of the way, just side to side as we begin to just kind of tell the body and the mind that we're going to begin moving here, and just bring in some easy breaths. As you breathe in gently through the nose, inhale all the way into the entire body and all the way down into the belly, perhaps. And then you can begin going about halfway side to side as you continue to breathe. And here comes Chubbs. And we can continue to do this with this little old man. This is Chubbs. And then maybe just keep going until it feels nice. And as we move today, no sharp pain, no fizzing of the joints, no impinging. This is what we call a himsa, just a really loose interpretation of non-harming. Okay? And then just breathing. We're going to go ahead and come back to center. Okay. So now that we've sort of moved the body and we're introducing some breathing as you inhale, breathing the breath into the entire body, and then exhaling, just let the breath release and let the breaths get longer and longer. Always coming back to just the awareness of your breathing. Even when you wander away, that's okay. Just come right back. Now, we're going to go ahead and bring again, heels underneath the knees, gently lift the toes, activate the arches of the feet. You can release those toes back down, but see if you can keep the energy and the activation of the feet. Isometrically draw the left foot, right foot towards each other. It's going to gently hug the midline. You're going to inhale, press down to the low base of the spine. Slowly as you exhale, let's go ahead and just bring this right knee in towards the body. Okay. Now you could pause right here. No need to go any further. If you want, you can just lift this right leg. So some of us will be able to lift that right leg up, but you don't need the opening here. You can just keep that leg bent as much as feels good. You don't want to overstretch in any way. Breathing in, the belly expands. Bring your awareness to the right ankle of the right foot. And I want you of the right leg, and I want you to go ahead as you exhale, place that right ankle on top of that left thigh. So we're in pretty much a traditional figure four space. So I do like to lift my toes. It keeps my feet nice and active. Pressing down to the low base of the spine, breathe in and breathe out. And this is a figure four prep. This might be all that your body wants. For some of us, this is already opening up spaces in the body. Now you can have your arms out to the side. You could have your arms on the body. Some people like to bring the arms up over the head. To me, that's a really big shoulder opener. I want to keep everything nice and easy. So I'm going to let my arms just kind of hang out beside my body. And again, my head is nicely supported, neck is supported. All right, now take a few more breaths here. Some of us, you might want to grab a block, and I'm going to place this block in my left hand, and I'm just going to place it underneath that left foot. And this draws that left leg up a little bit closer, and it gives for some of us a little bit more opening. Okay. And I'm walking us in step by step. So as we add in each layer, you may not necessarily go to that layer. You may stay where you are. Take about 2 or 3 breaths here. And exhale. Noticing how the body feels. You could keep the feet flexed. You could release the feet. I like to play between the 2 spaces and just really notice my body and what my body is telling me today. Okay. Now you might stay here. Okay. If you wanted to add in the next layer, I'm going to bring my right hand and I'm just going to thread it through both thighs. I'm going to exhale, press down to the low base of the spine, and I'm going to bring that left leg towards me and take that right hand behind the left thigh and take my left hand behind the left thigh and interlace the fingers. You could absolutely use a strap, a scarf, whatever would feel nice here. Again, flex the feet, try that, take a couple breaths, release the feet, try that, and take a couple breaths. Now, a lot of times when we get to this point, I see a lot of people kind of hanging up, super like kind of crunched up because can be so tight. Really don't want your body there. Either place something underneath you so you can relax the upper body or go to the layer before. All right. I want you to really start breathing and tuning into the messages from the body and really what the body wants today and not what the mind wants. You could always take your fingers and interlace them in front of that left shin. And we're going to take about another 3 to 5 more breaths. Noticing where you're feeling this in your body. And while, yes, there is a particular place where many people feel this, it wouldn't surprise me if you were feeling some opening elsewhere. Right? For some of us, it might be inside the thigh, it might be the hip crease. It absolutely could be outside the right thigh, right? Depending on your body, maybe you're tight in your shoulders and you're feeling just as you open up your hips, your shoulders are starting to experience some things as well. So again, no sharp pain, no fizzing of the joints, no impinging of the body. Just breathe in. And breathe out. And I like to relax everything here, meaning I like to let go of my feet. I like to just see what happens in my body as I release the muscle energy. And take this a little bit more as kind of a yin-y kind of twist, or yin-y figure 4. We're going to move into twisting in a moment here. Now you may like this and you may take extra breaths here. If you'd like to explore twisting in figure 4, you're going to breathe in. Now again, I like to flex my feet because I'm about to move my body, so I want all that core to fire. And on my next inhale, I'm going to slowly keeping the core engaged, gently pressing down maybe through the low base of the spine. I'm going to slowly lower figure 4 back. I'm going to keep figure 4 in the legs. I'm going to draw my arms out to the side like a T. Breathe in here, again, flexing both feet. As you exhale, you can take figure 4 to the right side. Now, some of us will need a block underneath that right leg, right? At any level, it could be a bolster, it could be a pillow, it could be a blanket, right? So just kind of check in and see how the body is responding. Again, every time we move shape, it's, am I breathing? And is my body safe? No sharp pain, no fizzing of the joints, no impinging. And just breathe as easy as you can. Breathe the breath into your whole body. Breathe the breath perhaps all the way down into your belly. You could breathe your breath into your hips. You could breathe your breath all the way into your feet. You could breathe your breath up into your shoulders. And then just respond intuitively, just listening and responding. Maybe 2 or 3 more breaths. And it's okay here that this left hip is lifted. I really would encourage you to listen to your body. There's so many different shapes. This isn't supposed to look like a cookie cutter, experience. It's very much, we've moved the body. How does my body feel? How is my body responding? What is my body telling me? And then I would always, always encourage you to back out. Less is more. Now we're going to come out of this shape. And before I come out, I'm going to breathe in, flex both feet. I'm again going to press down to the low base of the spine just a little bit. As I breathe in, I like to say in my mind, I am about to move my body. Everything's on board now. As I exhale, I'm going to bring figure 4 back up to center. I might readjust that left foot. Then I'm just going to breathe in, again, pressing down to the low base of the spine, both feet flexed. I'm going to exhale and take figure 4 to the left side into a twist. And I might place that block underneath that left leg at any level. Again, that could be a blanket, a block, or a bolster. And notice I'm keeping a figure 4 shape through that right leg. If you wanted, and I would flex both feet just to have the nice engagement of core. Breathe in, press down to the low base of the spine. As you exhale, you could bring that right leg kind of towards the body and come into more of a traditional twist. It's going to change the experience. It's going to change the feedback from the body. So you're going to take about 3 more breaths here. No sharp pain, no fizzing of the joints, no impinging of the body. And backing out of anything that doesn't feel right. As you breathe in and breathe out. You could keep the head neutral, keep the chin neutral. You could play with turning the head to the left or to the right, but I'd be real mindful about that, right? Not needed at all. I would be very, very just aware of what feels good in the body. Less is more. It's always more, right? Less depth, right? Maybe it's less depth in the body and it's more ease in the breath. Maybe it's less about the advanced poses and it's more about rest. Now to come out of this, I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to engage the feet, going to press down to the low base of the spine gently. As I exhale, I'm going to use all that core to come back up to figure 4. I'm going to pause here. Just going to let what happened, happen. Let everything integrate. Feet flexed, breathe in, press down to the low base of the spine. You might lift that right leg. Again, it doesn't have to be straight. If anything, don't even lock out the knee, right? And then you can go ahead and release that right heel back to the right foot, back to the mat, and just kind of notice how your right leg, right hip, right side of the body feels compared to your left hip, left leg, and the left side of the body. Gently lift the toes, breathe in, press down to the low base of the spine, and just those little baby windshield wipers. Just as easy as can be. Any other shapes, movements that might feel good? Some of us might feel that we want to kind of hug the body in a little bit. Right? Some of us might make a little A-frame in the legs, knees together, heels out a little bit and do a little windshield wiper there. Some of us will just hang out in the A-frame shape. That might just feel good. Again, trusting the messages of your body. So now we're going to take this entire sequence to the other side. You could go ahead and reset, heel underneath, feet on the floor, heel under the knees, about hip width apart. Lift the toes again, activate the arches of the feet, breathe in, press down to the low base of the spine, notice where your arms are, feel your whole body. Next time you inhale, go ahead and you could exhale, bring that left knee in, or you could just inhale and lift that left leg, whatever feels good. You can't do it wrong when you're moving where your core initiated and feeling the breath in the body. So wherever you are, bring your awareness now to the left ankle of the left foot. As you exhale, go ahead and place that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Flex both feet, breathe in, pause, and just notice how everything is arriving. You could release your feet and let everything relax. Again, noticing. Ahimsa, non-harming. Breathe in and breathe out. And this may be all that you do on this side. Different side, different story. So we really approach this as brand new. This might be it. For some of us, it might be placing a block underneath that right leg. Before I do that, I go ahead and flex the feet, breathe in, press down to the low base of the spine. So I have all that activation, all that core energy. And I'm just going to lift that right foot and place it on a block and see what happens in my body. And I might like that. It might be exactly what my body needs. You're breathing longer and easier. Maybe you're breathing the breath down into the low back and just feeling the low back expand. Release the feet, flex the feet, see what feels good. This might be all that you do. If you want to play with the next layer, breathe in, flex the feet, press down to the low base of the spine. As you exhale, just bring that right leg towards you, just a little bit. Thread that left hand arm through both thighs. Maybe you clasp behind that right thigh with the fingers, the hands. Maybe you use a strap. Flex the feet, release the feet. What feels good? Notice the journey is pretty much the same, but the feedback is different. Breathe in, noticing how the body's responding. Again, if you're kind of finding that you're kind of crunching up and forward, I would place support underneath the body, underneath the head, the neck, maybe a pillow under the shoulder blades, or go back to the layer before. This might be all that you do. If you feel as though you want to explore the next layer, you would breathe in, press down to the low base of the spine. As you exhale, bring that little right leg a little bit closer, maybe interlace in front of that right shin. Flex the feet, release the feet, see what feels good. There's always the option to kind of cradle that left elbow inside the crook of that left leg that's in figure 4, but not needed in any way. And how does this feel? And my left side is way tighter than my right side. How about you? Right? Just noticing, feeling, sensing, breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Or maybe 3 or 4 more breaths. So many different options here. If you have your favorite expression, please feel free. We're just taking a nice, easy journey through figure 4 and figure 4 twists. Now, if you feel ready to come out, maybe to explore the twisting through figure 4, I would flex both feet, breathe in, press down to the low base of the spine, keep all that core engaged, and notice as you release, you're going to keep the core engaged, keep the core engaged, keep the core engaged, all the way until that right foot lands. Okay, you're going to breathe in, maybe you'll grab a block, a blanket, or a bolster, flex the feet, press down to the low base of the spine, core's engaged. Exhale, go ahead and gently twist to your left side. It doesn't matter if you went to the right, just trust your body because we're going to visit both. And just see kind of what the body wants to do here. So normally in a hatha practice, it is very specific and we have a lot going on, but I just want you to notice your body, right? It give you a lot of alignments, but what if you just kind of found a place to release and let go in while you're supporting your body? Add more bolsters, add more blankets, add more pillows. Right? What would feel good? Some would tell you keep the right shoulder blade on the floor. But you know what? I know some of my clients like to kind of just lift that right shoulder blade up as the legs kind of take the twist a little bit more and they enjoy the openness that creates, right? Some people, it does feel good to have that right shoulder blade on the floor, right? I would find the most supported, more relaxed, more peaceful place to be, the more relaxation and presence that we can bring to the mind, the more opportunity the mind sends the message for the body to relax. And it's in that relaxation response that the body will release and open even more. Maybe 2 more breaths, maybe more. Feel free to hang out in any shapes that feel good. When you're ready to come out, I would breathe in, flex both feet, press down to the low base of the spine. You could say to yourself, I am about to move my body. Keeping all that core engaged and the breath flowing as you exhale, bring figure 4 back up to center so everything's supported. I like to pause in the middle and take another breath, inhale. And then exhale, we'll go ahead and take that twist to the other side. You easily could take as many breaths in between, right? Just hang out in figure 4. Maybe you get into the figure 4 twist on the right side and your body doesn't like that today. Go back to the layer before or the one that feels good. Notice that you can keep the left leg in figure 4 here, or you could bring that left leg over towards the body and come into a little bit more of a traditional twist. You're going to decide based on what the body is telling you today. And about 3 or more breaths here. Again, very easy breathing. Release the feet, flex the feet, breathe into your low back, breathe into your whole body. Keep the chin neutral. Maybe you turn the head, maybe you don't. What is the body telling you today? And really, to me, my yoga practice is so much more a practice of presence, very much a spiritual practice for me. This is not my exercise, right? If I'm going to exercise, I'm doing something else. To me, even when I'm doing like a power sweaty practice, it's still so much more a spiritual practice than it is exercise. I reserve exercising for everything else. And it doesn't mean that we're not getting the benefits of exercise through the body here. But to me, I like to really delineate that when I move my body through yoga, it's more about my spirit and the connection of my spirit and body and my mind and my breath and how I'm living my life and am I loving myself? What's the inner critic doing today, you know? All right, when you're ready to come out, we breathe in, flex both feet, press down to the low base of the spine, and you might say, I am about to move my body. And as you exhale, we're going to gently come right back up to figure 4. Press down to the low base of the spine. Everybody is different. For some of us, it might be immediately into windshield wipers. Some of us, it might just be holding that left knee. You might lengthen that left leg. You might hug both knees. Right? You might bring both feet down and do a little windshield wiper. I want you to spend about 3 breaths just in between, letting what happened happen. And then after that, we'll move through some twists, some little windshield wipers. Maybe you'll move through some final shapes. Maybe you want happy baby. Maybe you want a little sleeping butterfly. When it feels right for you, I would move through your favorite windshield wipers, whether it's just a regular windshield wiper or a little A-frame windshield wiper. That's where the knees are together a little bit and the feet are more towards the outsides of the mat. And then I would windshield wiper. And when you get to the right side, just hang out on the right side and take a couple breaths there. There's no rush. Even when this video ends, you could spend more time on your mat. You can be wherever you want to be. Back to windshield wipers. Notice we're moving through like dynamic movement through static stillness. So the next time the knees make their way to the left side, you'll just hang out on the left side. Take a couple breaths there. These are just easy windshield wipers. Windshield wipers movement to windshield wipers pause on a side. And then windshield wipers moving. And then pause on the other side. And then when you're ready, you could just take a little mini savasana here. You could lengthen the legs, draw the legs out and draw out the arms. You could come into waterfall where you have something under the knees or something under the head or the neck. And as you just release into this little mini Shavasana, take a couple breaths. No sharp pain, no fizzing of the joints, no impinging. And that will be all for this video. Mwah!